welcome to 4E Models Kit Review Time. Today we got ICM's latest new tooled 148 scale He111H-3 bomber. Again, looking very nice, quite excited about this one. There's quite a bit of buzz about this one, and to be honest with you, we've had this one for sale in the P&M store for, well, months now, and it's the first time I've actually got my hands on one to actually do a proper review of it. So, without further ado, into the box. You can see, nice little box art. Not sure about this sort of CAD photo. I love the artwork that modern ones have, but it gives you an idea of actually what's going down on there. Okay, a little bit blunt about the actual bomber itself. On the end, so you got your kit number for this one is 48261. Okay, and some marking information down on that side. Now this one is all sealed up still, so we've got a couple of these to get into. As always, I've never looked in the box before. I haven't got a clue about the kit at all, because I like to do first impressions. Okay, oh, and we're on the ends as well. Very well packaged. Again, if you haven't been following ICM, they had a, slight bad press, double boxed, over a few years. Some of their kits had little errors and faults and things like that. But over the recent decade, they've really come together. That's how we get in. And actually producing some very, very nice kits these days. So, as we can see, we are greeted by a big old crinkly bag. Some instructions. Okay, so we'll just pop that out of the way for the moment. We'll just get that there. We'll start in here. So we've got a nice decal sheet. Okay, so we've got colour callouts, various information as you might expect just at the top. So you've got colour callouts down in there for Revell and Tamiya. Okay, and then as we work our way around, as we've got parts tree callouts, so you can see exactly what's going on down in there, and a few more on that side, and then it's straight into the build. So it looks like we've got these very large wing spars, which is typical of modern kits now, to actually spread that load and just get the geometry a little bit easier for the modeler. Okay, so we've actually got bomb bay sections, no, sorry, these are wheel well sections being done for the outside, and then we've actually got cabin compartments and the walk-through through the midsection, and then we've obviously got those parts going in, so you've got the sort of wheel wells done in there and this subsection, which is going to make the model particularly strong, and the geometry should be very nice as well on that one. And then obviously we're working our way through the set, going right the way through, so we've got the sort of upper turret down being put together down on there, then we're coming through the cockpit sections, all the cockpits, the seats, rudder pedals, all the instrumentation type work, and then fitting that onto the front. Okay, then we've actually got the bombardiers area going on at the front as well, and then again, as we said, the actual rudder sets and pedals which hang out, very noticeable being a total glass front of bomber. Wheel sections going together, and then we've got a little bit of modular work going down on the inside, so we've got some nice inside details, framework, various things around that midsection as well as those are going in. Windows being fitted in there, as you might imagine. Then we've actually got the gun racks as well, so these are the magazines for the actual guns on board the aircraft. Those are being fitting in, and quite a little bit of internal details. More window glass could being fitted down into there, as you might imagine, and then obviously the guns going out there for the waist guns. Okay, and then carrying on right the way down. Same on the other side, it's basically a mirror. We've got a little bit of radio equipment, things like that being fitted down in there as it makes its way through. And then you've actually got the wing fuselage being fitted together, control column going in, things like that. Bomb racks, so obviously as we all know, the He111's bomb system is just vertical, it just drops straight out of the bottom, so we've got those big cages being put on there and then fitted down into there. Underside of the wing sections being fitted up down in there, control surfaces being fitted, looks like they are all posable. Again, we're saying no glue, so that's a very nice touch as well. Okay, and then we're going in with the tail sections, and what's beautiful with this kit, we do get engines as well. So we've got the engine set going right the way through, making up the actual engines. It's not going to take too much to detail those up and really bring them to life, but there we go, that's those engines being done and then fitted onto the engine mounts and then onto the actual wing spars. Carrying that on through, obviously we've got the outside parts, covers for the engine, mounting brackets, exhaust systems being fitted down in there, radiators going in, control surfaces with the ailerons being fitted, and then we've got cowls and various things going on there. Very, very nice indeed. And then top sections of the wings being fitted down into there, those ailerons being fitted, and then we've got the actual engine covers as well. And it looks like you can either do them as separate or fitted together, and then we've actually got the back end of the radiators in there. And then obviously we've got the areas being all prepared for the propellers going on the front. Tops of the cowls being fitted down onto their sides, the exhaust, usual bits and pieces you might imagine. All that glass work down on the front end of it as well, so you'll be fitting all of those down in there, and for the tail as well, or the underside one. Okay, and then all of that being fitted in there, as you might imagine. Front and rear gun positions down on the belly. Undercarriage sets going together right the way through. Props being fitted on, and then the actual engine, the undercarriage strengtheners being put in as well. A few more parts going down in there, and then finishing off down underneath, we've actually got the bomb bay doors being fitted down on there, and the main gear doors down on there. And last but not least, we've got that top turret with the actual shroud over the top being fitted in, the gun and aerial, and you end up with your completed bomber. And there we go, very, very nice indeed. So we've got markings going down in there, and obviously we've got more markings over here for around about 1940s. And then we've got some more at the back, so we've actually got the 1941. We've got Norway down in that one with the yellow band markings as well. And there we go. Again, looking straight off the bat, you often think, you know, okay, it's just an He111, we've seen them all before. Not with full engines and that level of detail, we haven't. That's particularly nice indeed. Decals. Looks like the carrier film may be a little bit heavy, if we're honest, just looking at them. If we do it on the close-up, you can probably see a little bit more. But generally good, solid colour. The white's very solid as well. And that smaller writing, no problem with that. That's actually looking all very nice indeed. And then into the meat of it. So, resealable bag, which this is crammed into. Okay, let's have that out of the way. Where I have that. Okay, we'll run through it as it is. So, to start with, you can see this is that typical ICM plastic. It's a little bit softer. Chink test doesn't quite pass that one, but generally, as you can probably see on the close-up, beautiful recessed details. Very nice. So we've got a mixed match of basically panel lining and riveting with the access panels right the way. This is the underside, okay, and as you can see, very nice. We don't have the flaps obviously separate, but that's not too much of a problem on this particular kit, because it's big on detail elsewhere straight out of the box, and if you did want to go around and do that, you can, but you can probably see very smooth, clean, crisp panel lining right the way through. You know, the control surfaces, again, you can see the details on those, very, very nice indeed. No problem with that. And even on the blind side, beautiful done. All the ejector pins are all nicely out the way, nothing standing proud or anything else like that. So that's a very nice touch indeed. Let's make a bit of room here. Okay. Exactly the same on the other side for the wing set, but down on here we've actually got the control surfaces again, beautiful recessed. Okay, so showing the formers coming through on the rib work on the control surfaces, very, very nice indeed. Exactly the same because it's matched on the other side. And we've got another set of wings which are the same. Okay, there's those big old formers we were talking about right the way through. Again, very nice indeed. And just looking around at the sprue generally, really clean, crisp. I can't really see any sink marks or anything else like that. Nothing's jumping out. Certainly no flash on this particular kit. Very, very nice indeed. And if we start up here, you can see beautifully done. Very nicely done indeed on all these parts. Again, it's one of those ones. It's just very sharp, the entire kit. And this is the thing with ICM kits, all their latest releases now, they are all very, very sharp. All the ejector pins are very smooth, very either flush or slightly recessed in, so that's no problem. But down in here, you've got no ejector pins in things like the gear doors. I don't know if it needs a little bit of framework, a little bit more detail down in there, but certainly looks quite nice. Again, none of the smaller parts have got little ejector pins to get them out. That's all very nice indeed. Clear parts to have a look at the moment. We got this little sprue just down on here with actual gear parts and things like that. And then again, if we stick it down in here, you can see, probably go this way actually, very close. Very, very nice indeed. No problem with these gears. There's minimal bearing as well. That's the nice thing. There's a little bit, but it's not too bad at all. And there's no ejector pins on any of these small parts to help them along. Okay, to get those out, they're all off of the part. So again, easy to use, no problem at all. With all of that, it's actually a very nice touch indeed. Okay, right, fuselage halves gives you an idea of the scale of the bird. She is going to be roughly around about, I'm thinking about there, around about 34, 35 centimetres long. Again, fuselage, very nice and clean, crisp moulding on that, no problems whatsoever. And again, if we have a look a little bit closer, it's got some riveting on it, not tons of it, but it's pretty very clean and sharp, as you can see on all of that. Bombay doors, depending if you're open or closed. Obviously if you're doing the closed one, you'll just have it like this. If you're going to be doing open, you've got the open version. Some of this interior detail, as you can see, for the framework all running through the inside on all of these. That's very nice indeed. And then down in here we have got some ejector pins in amongst all of this, but to be honest they're very shallow, and I don't know even if you'd noticed them, but it wouldn't take too much to get those out. Everywhere else very clean, smart. Again, just down on these parts on here, because they're going to be flush going up on the inside, very sharply moulded, no problem at all with any of those. That's actually very, very nice, very clean kit indeed. Okay, these sprues are exactly the same. This is sort of the business end on sprue C. So down in here we've got things like the engine work, we've got obviously the wheel wells, exhaust, bombs, everything else you might imagine, some of the hosing. So if we just start up here, we've got the prop, again, very nice, no sink marks, no nothing. We've got the engine mounts, they're all very nice, and some of the gear parts and things like that down in there. The engines themselves actually aren't too bad at all. Nice mixture of raised and recessed details on all of those. A little bit of wiring, I think you'll be good to go on that one. Okay, down in here, obviously we've got some more of the engine parts, and then obviously we've got the bomb base, things like that. The bomb fins, magazines for the guns themselves, they're very nice indeed. Pretty much similar story on this side. Some more guns, various things. The spinner, very nice as well. Various things. We've got the radiator. And then up here on the wheels, unfortunately we don't have a flat spot or sort of weight on wheels effect with those. That would have been a nice touch, but the radiator system is open. We've got a little bit of raised detail down on these. That's quite a nice touch as well. And the hoses, exhausts and everything else, and that's a match pair on that one. So you've got two sprues of that. Last up we have the decals. Okay, so the decals, clear parts even, apologies. Okay, that's really, really nice. Actually, that is very nice. Some quite complex molds in here with the curves, but hopefully you can, if I zip around on the close-up here, you can see all the clear parts are really nice. We've also got very good, hard, sharp edging between the framework and the glass itself, which sometimes gets a little bit soft when you're dealing with curves and corners. That's really sharp on all of those areas, so masking up is going to be a doddle. Okay, and all of the clear parts, especially obviously the flat stuff, is crystal clear. You can probably see you've got very little distortion running through. And then obviously with these, again, exactly the same, the lower side, very nicely done. So we've got no center seams or anything else there. The side windows, no problem. Again, maybe a little bit of sinkage in some of the clear ones, but that's really trying to be picky now on this particular kit. I have to say that is actually some of the clearest stuff we've seen, but the framework is the bit that stands out to me. It's very, very sharp, which means, as you say, when you're masking up, you put your tape down onto there, follow it along, and you have no problem at all. A surprise kit, I think you'll agree. If you haven't seen anything from ICM recently especially, then really have another look at them, because I think they're one of these companies which is like slipping under the radar. Nobody's really taking much notice of them, but they are producing some, as you can see, fantastic kits. So there we've got a Heinkel 148 with the engine. You've got everything to start a fantastic kit. Straight out of the box, you can have no problem with that at all. You want to go that little bit further and add a little bit of wiring work on those engines, and then really beef it up with a little bit of super detailing, and again inside of some of those areas, very easily and quickly you're going to end up with an absolute stunning He111. So there we go, that is the Heinkel He111H-3 148 kit from ICM.